Okay, so um, if you have been paying attention to some of my posts, if you are following me on Facebook, you would know that I've been talking a lot about AI and all of that. So I've been playing around a lot of stuff. I've been learning a lot. I've been watching videos, buying courses, taking training programs and stuff to see how I can better my knowledge with AI. And fortunately, I've been able to see or witness a few things, right? Especially in the world of prompting, because when it comes to prompts refer to what do you call it? Prompts refer to the inputs, the commands you give the AI tool to, have to give you the best output there is. Okay, the problem with people saying AI tool gives regurgitated output or it just gives you poor output or stuff is because you do not know actually how to feed the software to give you what it is you want. Okay, and I've been learning that. I've been taking my time to learn that, and it's been wonderful. Okay, so I've been playing around a particular prompt. Now I'm actually trying to create a course for sale, and this is not something I intend selling to the Nigerian audience because it's going to be way higher, than what I sell. It's really something crazy. I don't want to go into that now, but it's something I want to really focus on and sell, online to the international market and stuff. It's not going to be anything affordable for the Nigerian audience. Some people might be able to buy it, but until then, all right. So I was actually creating, I was working on table of content and course content for what I wanted to work with. I had an idea of everything I needed. This is not actually my first rodeo when it comes to courses, but I just wanted to see what the AI could do for me, and it's been really awesome. Okay, so I created the course outline and I have everything ready. I just have to start shooting the videos, right? But then I want to actually use a webinar to pre-sell the course. And I know that for me to be able to use a webinar, it won't just be one webinar. It has to be webinar on a regular basis, probably say every month, maybe one webinar or two webinars every month. That's just the way it is. If you want to actually hit the sales you're targeting, you have to be consistent with your webinars. Okay. So the tool I'm using for this is ChatGPT, as many of us know. It's to get your account, simply go to chat.openai.com, create an account with them, and you have access to GPT 3.5 that gives you unbeatable access. Now, please note, I know that a couple of persons already know that GPT-4 exists as of the time of making this video, and that's with Bing AI or Copilot, as the case may be. But I found out something that sometimes GPT 3.5 gives you wonderful outputs than GPT-4. I don't know if it's probably maybe just my thinking, but I've done a lot of testing between the two. Now, I love GPT-4 on Copilot or Bing. The reason I use GPT-4 is if I want up-to-date or recent research outputs, okay? So I use GPT-4 or I use Copilot, and it's been awesome. Okay, so, but when I want to do research that I know that the GPT has actually, been able to compile over time, I'd stick to GPT 3.5, which is what many entrepreneurs use, and it's really awesome. So if you use Google Bard, it's still cool. You can use Google Bard for this. If it's your favorite AI tool, I'm not here to say which is better or not, but this is what works for me, right? So let's get down to business. Now, if you look at your screen right here, you see a prompt I put in here, and let me bring that up in my notepad. Sorry, excuse me. All right, so let me bring it up right here. Excuse me. And here is the prompt, right? It says, you are a digital marketing expert and a sales expert who has sold products worth 10 million US dollars using webinars for the last 25 years. 25 years, right? Not years, right? Years, whatever. With specialties in research and human behavior, I want you to outline 10 fears, frustrations, and objections that can prevent people from buying this front-end course. Now, while I was preparing the course outline, I had an outline for the front-end course and an outline for a back-end course and upsell, right? Now, this is something I've been playing around with for a while, I think since October last year. And yeah, the research is still ongoing. I'm not done. It takes a lot to research. It's not something you can do in a day. All right? Don't forget about all those TikTok and Instagram videos you see that say, hey, you can use ChatGPT to do da 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 in a day. That's crap. So, 10 frustrations, 10 fears and objections that can prevent people from buying this front-end course. Now, put it in a table format. Label x-axis 1 to 10 and y-axis fears, frustration, and objections. Now, what I'm doing is this. I want to understand, okay, I have the course ready. Now, I want to shoot a webinar. What do I tell people so that, or what are the fears people have? What are the objections people have that will prevent them from buying the course? Because that is what you have to do. Your webinar is there to pre-sell the course. Your webinar is there to let people understand that, okay, this is what you stand to get in the course, but I'm going to have to break down your objections, your frustrations, and your fears, right? Now, I picked objection stuff from a Facebook friend of mine by name Caesar. Let me see if I can find that out. Yeah, Caesar Namani. I think I was going through one of his posts lately, and I think I found something. I'm trying to see something. He's been doing really awesome. He's been doing really awesome. I think I have to look, let me see. I think objections was what I found on his timeline, I think. It's a recent post. I don't know. It's a simple way to create a working webinar. List all the objections someone has to buying your stuff, then record yourself answering all of them. Done. Now, people didn't actually know what he dropped here because it was actually in tune or in line with the research I have been making over time, right? So I was able to look at that. I said, okay, cool. And I gave AI this prompt that says, you are a digital marketing expert and a sales expert who has sold products worth $10 million. See what I'm saying? Who has sold products worth $10 million using webinars for the last 25 years. I didn't say 2 days, right? With specialties in research and human behavior, I want you to outline 10 fears, frustration, objectives that can prevent people from buying this front-end course. Put it in a table format, label x-axis 1 to 10, y-axis fears, frustration, and objections. And this is the output of that prompt, right? It says here, say, sure, here is a table outlining that he said here, fear of wasting money on ineffective training, frustration with previous unsuccessful attempts at digital marketing, objection, I am not sure if this course will really help me. Now, you're beginning to see all of the fears, frustration, and objections. I requested for 10, and he gave me 10 of them. And he says here, these fears, frustration, and objectives highlight common concerns that potential buyers may have when considering whether to purchase the front-end course. Addressing these concerns in the webinar and course materials can help alleviate doubts on that. So good. Now I have this. Now the very next thing I'll do is I want you, say, okay. I'll still say you are, I think I just have to copy this. I don't want to waste so much time. I think I have a prompt I've been working with here. Let me see. You are, okay. Okay, I'll just do this. Okay, you are a sales expert with human research, with experience in human research and human behavior. Now you are telling this you are giving it, you are creating some kind of scenario. You're saying you are this, you are a soldier, you are an expert, things like that, right? You are a sales expert with experience in human research and human behavior. I want you to create a buyer persona, for this webinar. Okay, for this webinar. No, sorry. I want you to create a buyer persona for this. I want you to create a buyer persona that. Okay, I want you to create a buyer persona for this webinar. Now, I'll just copy this. All right. I'll paste it in here and hit enter. Now watch what it's going to do. Now the buyer persona is simply a presumed person who would want to buy, your course or your service, or who would want to attend your webinar. But this person already has those fears and points and all of those things. So just watch what's going to happen here. So as you can see, it has created a buyer persona for this webinar, right? So it says here at the end, it says, by understanding the needs, guides, challenges, and of our buyer persona, we can tailor the webinar content and messaging to resonate with Sarah and all of that and address her specific pain points. This will increase the likelihood of her engaging with the webinar and ultimately purchasing the front-end course, right? Excuse me. So if you look at it, it said buyer persona, Sarah, age 32, gender female, occupation, and, all of that. To tell you her goals, her challenges, her pain points, motivations, and communication preference, right? Now, the next thing you're going to do is you tell AI tool to do this. I want Sarah to critique. Sorry, I hope I'm getting this correctly. Critique the where are this stuff? To critique the. I'm not seeing. Okay, the 10 fears and objections you just listed. Now, what this is that she will critique the supposed fears, objections, and frustrations that have been listed for me, right? Critique them and see if there is a relationship, object, 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 objections, fears, and frustrations. Now, this might seem a lot, but trust me, this will really help you if you know what you're doing. You paste it in here, hit enter, and boom. Certainly, let's have, all right, so it's going to critique everything. Now, it's going to show you everything, Sarah's critique. Do you understand this? It's showing you, it says, critique, Sarah can relate to this as she has limited resources and wants to ensure that any investment in training, da 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 da. So if you read through everything the AI tool would give you, right, you would see that it's listing out Sarah's fears, right? It's listing out Sarah's fears. Now, so overall, Sarah can relate to many of the fears, frustrations, and objections as they align closely with her goals and addressing these concerns in the webinar good. So the next thing you do is you would say, I want you to create a 25-minute webinar script, addressing the fears and objections you listed. You listed, right? the purpose of this webinar is to get as much buyers for purpose of this webinar is to convert, is to retain and retain enough viewers. Sorry, I think I'm spelling that wrongly. And this is wrong. And convert them to buyers of the front end course, right? So you just copy this and paste. Now I'll tell you why you need the buyer persona again. Relax. Now you hit enter and wait. So it's giving you everything, right? It's giving you everything. You are coming out, it's giving you the script. It's breaking down the script for you. It's telling you what to say, how long to focus on that particular side of the webinar, all right? And this is it. It's done, right? Then here is what you do again. Now look at the course of the course. That's why I said it's not for the Nigerian audience. Now here is what you do again. You come back. You say, let Sarah critique this script and list possible solutions. Okay? Let Sarah critique, Sarah is the buyer persona, okay? So let Sarah critique this script and list all possible solutions. All possible solutions, a bit suggestions. Let's go with suggestions now. Suggestions, right? Now, it has given you the script already. A lot of people will just go copy this and boom, start working with this. No, that's not it. I'll tell you why. Now, if you come and paste this, hit enter. Say, let Sarah critique the script and list all possible suggestions. Now, Sarah is the buyer persona, all right? So let Sarah, the buyer persona, critique the script and hit enter. This critiquing of script, I learned it from a guy on TikTok, and it's been really awesome. Good. Now let's have Sarah critique this. Now here's what Sarah will do. It's telling you, it's looking at everything. Then these are her suggestions, right? These are her suggestions, testimonials, social proof, and all those that. Now in the webinar script, there were no what do you call it? There were no webinar proofs, social proofs and all of that. Excuse me. Let me connect my mouse. I've been using my laptop mouse and my palms are sweaty. So I think this would work. Okay. I think this will work. Okay. So as you can see, look at this is the critique that Sarah gave us the first time. Okay? Addressing fears, frustrations, and objections. Now look at this. Introduction of the front-end course and everything she's been saying. So it says by incorporating these suggestions, the webinar can be further optimized to address Sarah's concerns and stuff. Now here is where it gets interesting. Rather, I'll just say implement. Just say implement all of your suggestions and hit enter. Boom. Now let's integrate Sarah's suggestion into the webinar script. Now, as you can see, it's going to give you something different from the webinar script you told it to give you before. Now, this is where people say, oh, it just doesn't, where ChatGPT gives us regurgitated content, No, ladies and gentlemen. This is the meat. This is what it is, right? This is where everything is. Now look at it. Say, don't miss out on this opportunity to transform that. And it says here, thank you all for joining me today. I'm confident. Then you can do your Q&A session after this. It might not tell you that, but you need to do a Q&A session, especially if your webinar is live. If it's a pre-recorded webinar, you should actually have a Q&A session already recorded. All right. So as you can see here, the first thing it did was, here's what we'll cover today: understanding common fears, position objection in digital marketing, addressing each fear and all of that. So you start by acknowledging some of the challenges that many marketers have, right? You talk about, it depends on what your course is doing. Now, you know what your course is solving. You know the problem your course is solving. This is where you begin to talk about it, right? Now, this course talks about, I don't want to use this course. Maybe I'm talking about a course on copywriting, right? So one of the common fears of copywriting folks is that they do not know the kind of tone to use when they're writing, right? So you have to understand the tone. Now, this is a fear. Then you can come around and say, okay, now, this is what happens. This is why this is that, right? So once you've listed out all your fears, which are, as you can see, even it's even easy for you, right? If you go up here and look at the table above, where is that table? Right, if you go up here and you say, fear of wasting money on ineffective training, I'm not sure if this course will really help me succeed. It will, because the purpose of this course is not just for you to succeed, but for you to build a lifelong dream of financial independence. It's the purpose of this course, or what this course will do for you, is to, I don't know if you understand that. So the first thing you do is you introduce yourself, you talk about some things in the course, you look at the pain points and challenges, you begin to break them down. You show people that this is possible. Now, the mistake some people make is that they teach in webinars. You don't teach in webinars. Webinars are like what we call invitation to treat in business law. They kind of pull you in. It's like when you go to buy suya or stuff and they give you for tasting. And like, okay, cool, this is cool. And then you begin to buy, right? Now, you don't, if the suya guy doesn't tell you, hey, Oga, this one is 1,000 naira, I'm going to cut it for you in 10 pieces now, give you for 10,000 naira. No. He just takes out a small chop of the suya and hands it over to you and you eat. And once you eat, you are drowning. That is what the webinar should be. So I hope this has really helped you. I don't know where to post this, if I should post this on YouTube, if I should post this on TikTok or Facebook. Either ways, I'm going to be posting this somewhere and I'll drop the link for you guys to see, right? So if you enjoy this, please drop a comment for me to know if you enjoy this. I'm not really someone who makes so many YouTube videos, but I could actually start, right? I don't think I've taken YouTube income revenue serious. I think maybe I'd have to. But in any case, if you want me to drop more content for you, just let me know what you like to learn. If you didn't understand this, you can still comment and I can make an extensive video, right? But one thing I'm not going to answer is the name of the course or what I'm selling. I'm not going to be telling you that. That's not the purpose of this video. I'm just showing you what I've done. I think you might be interested in. So thank you so much for your time and peace out.